Curatorial assignment, Boston Museum of Fine Arts. Ancient Greek Art, a diverse showcase exhibition, presented by Sara Richtmyer. I would first like to go over the table of contents of this presentation. To begin, I will introduce the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. Then I will go to my exhibition. We'll wrap it up with a conclusion. And at the very end, I will briefly show my bibliography. I chose to research the Boston Museum of Fine Arts because it has one of the world's most encompassing collections of ancient Greek art. They have a broad range of pieces, including sculptures, vases, and jewelry from various Greek periods. These artifacts provide insight into their culture, religion, and artistry. Additionally, due to its vast collection, this museum can be seen as a resource for understanding ancient Greek mythological storytelling and craftsmanship. An ongoing challenge in the museum world, including at the MFA, lies in the ethical implications of acquiring and removing artworks from their places of origin. Furthermore, the methods used to preserve and interpret these pieces typically differ depending on the museum and the context of their new setting. At the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, visitors can see an expansive collection of Greek artifacts ranging from pottery to monumental sculptures. Originally, these pieces were made for temples and/or public spaces, which were then transported to a new environment, which inherently alters how they are perceived. Although the museum is a professional method of preserving and showcasing these artifacts, there is still an inherent disconnect between their original setting, which prompts reflection on how effectively their cultural, historical, and their original context, these artworks were intricately woven into everyday life of ancient Greece. For instance, artworks like the head of Aphrodite and the Choros once held a religious cultural significance, which was seamlessly woven into everyday life. The Boston Museum of Fine Arts presents these pieces in their exhibitions, which emphasize preservation but completely strips them from their original. Additionally, there are ethical considerations surrounding the removal of these works from their original context that are significant, especially because many of the MFA's Greek artifacts were acquired during the 19th and 20th centuries. This time period is often associated with colonial and imperialist practices, which raises important questions about the origins of certain pieces and whether they were required ethically. I believe that the transparency about the collection methods and acknowledging these histories is an important factor to help people remember and understand and appreciate ancient Greek art. Next, let's jump right into the exhibition. The head of Aphrodite, also known as the Barlet head, was made in the early Hellenistic period from around 330 to 300 BC. It was made of Heraean marble, and it was manufactured in Attica, Athens. The Barlet head of Aphrodite attributed to the style of Praxiteles, and it stands as a significant and rare example of late classical or early Hellenistic sculpture. Originally, it was designed for insertion into a full-length statue, but that is now lost. But the head is remarkably well preserved, aside from a minor break at the tip of the nose. This piece exemplifies Praxiteles' mastery of idealized beauty and reflects the artistic and cultural values of ancient Greece, particularly regarding reflection on the era's sculptural techniques and ongoing conservation efforts. The Barlet head of Aphrodite has been a part of the Museum of Fine Arts since 1889. The head of Aphrodite is an important inclusion for my exhibition because it exemplifies the artistry and cultural values of late classical period and early Hellenistic periods in ancient Greece. It was sculpted out of Parian marble, as I've mentioned, and it attributed to the style of the renowned sculptor Praxiteles, and it offers a rare glimpse into Greek ideals of female beauty and femininity. Aphrodite is known as the goddess of love and beauty, and she was a central figure in Greek mythology and culture, thus making her an ideal subject to explore the artistic and symbolic priorities of the time. The Barlet head is particularly significant because it represents not only the technical mastery of Greek sculptors, but also their ability to idealize and humanize divine figures. The delicate features and expression reflect the Greek emphasis on proportion and realism. Including the Bartlett head also provides an opportunity to address the ethical and interpretive challenges of displaying ancient artifacts in modern museums. In 1889, the MFA required this piece, which again raises questions about provenance and the colonial practices of the artifact collection. Next, I chose the drinking cup clicks depicting pentathlete. This was made during the late Archaic period from 510 to 500 BC. It was made out of ceramic and it was a red figure style, and it was made in Attica, Athens. This click features a youth holding a jumping weight or a halter in each hand as he runs to the right, glancing over his shoulder, which suggests his uncertainty in his jump. And two javelins stand vertically behind him, which accompanied by the inscription, Athendoros is handsome. The scene on the drinking cup highlights the cultural significance of athletics in ancient Greece, which emphasizes ideals of physical excellence and heroism. It also serves as an artistic depiction of pentathlon, which captures key events central to Greek athletic competitions and social life. And it was also acquired by the Boston Museum of Fine Arts in 1901. The drinking cup clicks depicted pentathlete as an important The drinking cup depicting pentathlete is an important inclusion in my exhibition because it highlights the intersection of art, function, and cultural values in ancient Greece. This red figure clicks is not only a decorative object, but also a functional piece that was used during the symposia, which were social gatherings where drinking, conversation, and intellectual exchange occurred. Its illustration of athletes in various stages of competition reflects Greek ideals of physical excellence, discipline, and celebration of athleticism. Displaying the clicks provides an opportunity to examine the relationship between form and function, as the vessel's wide, shallow shape and artistic detail emphasizes its dual role as a functional object and a medium for storytelling. The depiction of pentathlete engages viewers with scenes of movement and competition, which makes me wonder and imagine how the cup was both admired and handled during its original context. However, when viewed in a modern museum setting, the cup's interactive role is lost, showcasing how the shift in context alters its interpretation. Including this piece also raises questions about the ethics of artifact acquisition, as its removal from its cultural origins emphasizes aesthetic qualities over its functional, symbolic, and cultural significance. Next, I chose the satyr of Macedonia with the head of a youth struck under Archelaus 1. The satyr of Macedonia. This was made during the classical Greek period. The date was unknown. It was made out of silver. Its diameter was 22 millimeters, and its weight was 10.53 milligrams. This coin features the youthful face of what is believed to be a Macedonian king, Archelaus I, who ruled from 413 to 399 BC. It was acquired by the Museum of Fine Arts by Edward Perry Warren in 1901 for approximately $22 million, which conveyed a group of items at the time. And additionally, this coin offers insight into portraiture of the time. Including the satyr of Macedonia with the head of youth struck under Archelaus I in the exhibition is an important addition due to its cultural, artistic, and historical significance. Even though these ancient coins are no longer a form of currency, they provide insight into Greek society, politics, and artistic achievements. Struck under the rule of Archelaus I from 413 to 399 BC, it reflects the power and influence of Macedonian during the pivotal era in Greek history. Its design features the head of a young man who might be Apollo or a personified ideal of a young man, indirectly showcasing the emphasis on idealized beauty and divine association typical of Greek art. From Hellenistic perspective, the satyr demonstrates the skill of ancient Greek engravers who worked on the incredibly small scale to create detailed and aesthetically striking designs. The coin's preservation and craftsmanship highlight the artistic sophistication of this medium, which is often overlooked in favor of larger scale works like sculpture or pottery. Including this piece also allows for a discussion on the role of coinage in shaping cultural identity and asserting political power. This form of currency circulated widely across Greece, which in turn spread the representation of rulers and cities far beyond their borders, making them an essential tool for communication and propaganda in the ancient world. Moreover, examining its removal from its original context and inclusion in a museum collection aligns with the exhibition's broader theme of exploring how artifacts are reinterpreted when displayed in modern settings. The coin connects art, history, and ethics, making it a vital addition to the preservation. Next, the water jar Hydrea with the chariot of Achilles dragging the corpse of Hector. This was made during the Archaic period from 520 to 510 BC, and it was made in Attica, Athens. It is ceramic and black figure, and its height is about 50 centimeters from to the mouth, and of the mouth, it's 26 centimeters. From the handle to the tallest point, it's 56 centimeters, and the width, including the handles, is 38 centimeters. This Hydrea depicts the key movements from the final books of Homer's Iliad. On the left, Hector's parents, Priam and Hecbuca, watch in anguish as Achilles drags their son body behind the chariot. On the right, the tomb of Pacriolos is shown with a snake and his spirit ascending, while Iris, the messenger, runs across to arrange Hector's ransom. This image condenses these significant events into a single and powerful movement, blending the burial of Pacriolos with the desertion of Hector's body. And this was assessed in 1963 by the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. By including the water jar Hydrea with the chariot of Achilles dragging the corpse of Hector in my exhibition is essential for showcasing the depth of ancient Greek art's narrative and cultural significance. This red figure Hydrea captures a pivotal moment from Homer's Iliad, where Achilles, consumed by grief and rage over Patroclus' death, drags Hector's body behind his chariot. The detailed depiction offers a glimpse into the emotional intensity and moral complexities of Greek mythology, making it a perfect example of how pottery served as a medium for storytelling in ancient Greece. This Hydrea is not only an artistic masterpiece, but also a functional object, demonstrating how the Greeks merged everyday utility with high art. Its original purpose as a vessel for carrying water ties it directly to daily life in ancient Greece, reminding viewers of the integration of art and function in Greek culture. Displaying this piece demonstrates how ancient Greek ceramics were canvases for exploring storytelling, emotions, heroism, and divine intervention. Moreover, including this Hydrea prompts discussions about the ethics of the artifact removal. Like many ancient Greek objects, this piece may have been unearthed and acquired during an era of colonial practices, raising questions about its provenance. Lastly, I have the statuette of a stooping athlete. This was made during the early classical period from 470 to 460 BC. It is made out of bronze, and it is made in Greece, and it's assumed to be from Argos. Its height is 13 centimeters tall, and this bronze sculpture depicts a young man stooping with his hands resting on his knees. Traces on the back suggest that a second youth, now missing, was once seated on his shoulders, likely involved in a ball game. This piece retains its patina with some missing toes on the left foot. It was purchased by the Museum of Fine Arts from Edward Perry Warren in October 1896. The statue of a stooping athlete is a compelling piece to include in this exhibition because it demonstrates the artistic and cultural values of the early classical period. It was created around 470 to 460 BC, and it was probably found in Argos. And this piece depicts a young man stooping with his hands on his knees, which to me seems as if he was playing a game with another person, especially due to the engravement on his back suggesting that there was another piece there. Despite being 13 centimeters tall, this bronze sculpture conveys a sense of movement and realism that reflects the early classical focus on human form and naturalism. However, in its fragmented condition, with some toes missing, it still proves the challenges of conservation and the importance of ethical preservation practices. As I said before, the statue was acquired by the MFA in 1896, which is a period linked to colonial and imperialist practices, thus inviting a discussion on the ethics of artifact acquisition. Including this piece would enhance the exhibition's exploration of how ancient Greek art combined with athletic ideals with everyday life, thus reflecting cultural values that celebrated physical prowess and communal activities. It also provides an opportunity to discuss the loss of original context as it affects our interpretations of such works. In conclusion, while the Museum of Fine Arts offers a unique opportunity to engage and appreciate ancient Greek arts, it is important to recognize that the experience cannot fully replicate the original context in which these artifacts were created and displayed originally. The shift in setting often emphasizes aesthetic qualities over their intended functional or symbolic meanings, which alters the way that these pieces are understood. Additionally, the ethical considerations surrounding the removal and acquisition of these pieces during a period marked by imperialist and colonial practices again raises important questions about their provenance. Transparency in collection practices and an acknowledgement of these histories are crucial for fostering a deeper and more responsible understanding of ancient Greek art and its significance. Next, I'm going to briefly show my bibliography. Lastly, I just want to show my credits. This was edited and written by Sara Richtmyer. The editing program was Adobe Premiere Pro, and the slideshow platform was Google Slides. Thank you for watching.